Something about the way she taps the green bureau against her nose ring and tuts under her breath has me fearing for the worst. Finally, she puts my application form neatly aside and steeples her fingers. The long black nails look disturbingly like the claws of a wild beast. "Let me guess," she says. "You resigned your position a month ago, so you're unemployed. You gave away all your savings, so you're penniless. Stopped paying rent, you were evicted, so you're homeless. And since you ate all the food you stockpiled before emerging from whatever hole you've been hiding in, now you're starving." I try and fail to meet her gaze. "That about the size of it?" Yes, I admit. She smiles coldly. "And what is it exactly you expect us to do?" "Well, I fluster, this is the dole." "Benefit office, Mr. Wilkins. We are not, and have never been, the dole office. Nor do we hand out gyros to those who voluntarily make themselves unemployed. You will qualify for job seekers allowance if it takes you longer than a month to find a new job, which is quite likely given that you have burnt all your bridges, didn't you?" She looks at me more accusingly as I flush, and I remember the heated argument I had with my boss at the godless and soulless accountancy firm. There would be no recommendations coming from that quarter. She laughs. "Well, I bet you wish that comet had come and struck the planet and the apocalypse had happened, and it had happened as predicted, don't you? Well, unluckily for you, and luckily for the rest of us, it didn't. Good day, Mr. Wilkins, we'll see you back here in a month. Next!" I sit there, flabbergasted, aware of a figure hovering above my shoulder. "Next!" I presume it's next. For years, I have paid my taxes on time and in full. I had gone into the end of days owing money to no one. I was owed money by no one, just as my church had taught me to. 2 long, lonely, difficult weeks I've been cooped up in the cellar where I had stayed. Why was I being punished so now? Would the same scorn have been heaped upon me if the Reverend and his Learjet and his $7 million had not mysteriously disappeared over some tax shelter in the Caribbean? Where will I sleep? What will I eat? I plead. She scowls, then frowns, and then her features soften a little. I must look like a pitiful sight, having exited my survival bunker to find a new lock on the door of my flat, and my few remaining possessions mouldering in black bins in the alley outside, unkempt, unshaven, and as her wrinkling nose, the ornate silver ring catching the harsh bureau light, reminds me, unwashed. "Here," she says, and hands me a plain business card with nothing on it but an address stamped. "They might be able to help you." Next! It seems wrong that once again the day is bright and sunny. Wrong that the trees are cloaked in green leaves, that the birds noisily chirp. I can hear childish screams of excitement from a playground in the park across the road, the bark of a dog chasing a thrown ball. Somehow life goes on as all should be in ashes. I glance at the card to check I'm in the right place. A functional-looking 2-story building with a hastily erected sign proclaiming it to be after the Rapture, sanctuary and church for victims of false prophecy. I've been loitering near the wheelchair ramp now for the past hour. Despite the heady smell of some soup or stew wafting over the grounds, is this what I am reduced to? Begging for handouts from a bunch of told-you-so post-rapturians? I'm not one of the Bible Belt nutters, a follower of the 3 times wrong Harold Camping. I'm not even a Mayan calendar apocalyptic. My church was... Well, what does it matter now with our charismatic leader being unfairly hounded by Interpol? The church is no more. But the earth, despite the Reverend's predictions of fire and pestilence and floods and worse, abides. So maybe the post-rapturians have a point after all. There's a hand on my arm, a voice at my shoulder. Do you need help, brother? Do you need our help, brother? I turn and stare into the smiling eyes and fresh-faced young man who's just emerged from the building at my back. No, I'm just reading my newspaper and clutching my bag of all my belongings in one hand. I'm just reading my newspaper. It was discarded by the railing there. Just reading my newspaper. The apocalypse smile does not waver. As you say, brother, our doors are always open. I turn away smartly. Where did it all go wrong? The signs had been very clear as the headlines in the tainted paper that I'm holding. 2 weeks ago, as I readied myself to enter the carefully prepared shelter, those headlines had all been about devastating earthquakes in India, blood moons, and predicted close encounters with the wormwood comet, far, far worse to come, plagues, infernos, demonic creatures, and all other nightmares, stuff the Reverend predicted in his wonderful sermons. Online, of course. But the comet had passed harmlessly by. The earthquake reduced to a Red Cross appeal, buried opposite the TV schedule, and the Thames River of Blood, that final definitive omen that had me diving for my shelter, had turned out to be the accidental release of a tanker load of food dye from the Pims factory at Richmond. Most heartbreaking of all, instead of 144,000 souls that the Reverend proudly claimed to have saved, only a couple thousand, myself included, had actually followed the Reverend's final commandment to liquidate their assets and give it all away by one of his charitable organizations. The paper I'm holding is full of news, full of the sound of the world turning. I look through it in vain for apocalyptic omens, for signs of the forthcoming battle in heaven, for evidence that my sacrifice could yet come to good. Instead, there are politicians doing impossible, implausible things to dead pigs. Russia launching missiles in the Middle East, and freakish storms exacerbated by global warming. Hardly signs of the end of the world. Defeated, I let the rumpled sheets drop back where I found them, driven by pains in my stomach and having ultimately nowhere else to go. I hoist my bag for life, filled with what little I can still claim as my own, and I wearily trudge up the ramp. A familiar voice greets me as I enter the red glow of the lobby. Ah, Mr. Wilkins! The woman from the benefits office? Booms, looking taller and scarier than before. Even in this gloom. You've come just in time. Quickly now. Just in time? For the end of the world, Mr. Wilkins. Underground shelters to your left. Chop, chop. The tunnel looks raw, freshly excavated, and in a daze I stumbled down it deeper and deeper into the bowels of the earth, following the strong smell of roasting meat, wondering why it gets hotter with every step.